Football fans, Gooners, welcome to another edition of the Positively Uncensored Arsenal podcast with me, your host, Shotta, and my friend, the outspoken, the oracle of Blackburn, the one and only Blackburn George. George, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
We must be doing great. It's the day after I don't want to say spank, but we beat up on, and even Americans beat up is you better be careful about using that word. But we certainly edged Liverpool 3-2, George. And it is a remarkable turnaround from the past years, especially even last year when we did this podcast. we if I don't even recall, but in the run up to the first game, I think we played them at their place and we said we had no chance. And we got 4-0. And we played them again at our place. We were more hopeful and they gave us another, I think it was maybe 2-0. But their domination of us in the last few years has been striking. It was beautiful to see us edge them yesterday. How about you, George?
Yeah, there's two things to think of. First one, of course, is that Arsenal are massively improved.
Yes.
Massively. You can't get away from it. We're playing good football. We're playing well. But on the other side, Liverpool are a shadow of what they were 12 months ago.
True.
And it's not just against us. They're struggling against everybody. And they have to play City next. So good luck with that, boys. So tempered a little bit by their form. But that said, I thought they played as well against us as they have all season. It wasn't like they played badly. I thought they played all right. Not at the best from a couple of years ago, sure. But certainly good enough to beat us had we not improved so dramatically.
Yes.
That performance from Liverpool would have beaten us last year or the year before or the year before that. No question. Mm-hmm. So we've improved. Yeah. They've took us. And it's annoying me really because, there's always a proviso like Liverpool didn't play well or Tottenham were crap, and you don't want to do that. I want to be able to say we've beaten them when they played well. And I thought they did play quite well. So I'm encouraged that even though they're not at the best, that would have been good enough to beat us, but they didn't beat us. And I think we really deserved to win. It wasn't a lucky win. I think, we'll go into it in more depth, but I think on balance of play, we were comfortably the better team at the end of 95 minutes.
George, I will share with you stats. I remember people I was hesitant to say beat up, stomp over, all of those words. If you look on the stats, the overall stats for the game, and I'm going to bring them up on by themselves. I hope you can see, George. It shows that overall they had 56% possession to our 44, but we had more shots, 11 to their 8. And obviously we scored 3 goals to their 2. Their goalkeeper had to make more saves, 4. Ours had to make 2. But at the bottom of this page, you'll notice that they had more passes than us and they had more accurate passes. So what was the difference, George? What was the difference between both teams at the end of the day, in your opinion?
Right. Well, I thought we set off very well. Obviously, we scored the other goal. And for the first 10 minutes, we were all over them like a rash.
Mm-hmm.
The next 15 minutes, it was an even game. And after about 25 minutes in the first half, they were dominant.
Mm-hmm.
I tweeted at the time, I think they'd shown it come up on the screen that over the last 10 minutes, the 70% possession to Liverpool. And I tweeted at the time, I said, really, a two-man midfield shouldn't be having 70% possession against our three-man midfield. Something's going wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because I don't play FIFA 22, I can't put my finger on exactly what it was that was wrong.
Yes.
It could have been because Partey and Xhaka because we were in front, I'd sat back a little bit more, and Odegaard was sort of drifting left and right, leaving space in the middle, time and space for Henderson and Thiago. I don't know exactly, I'm guessing, but they were dominant for that period.
Mm-hmm.
We scored at the end of the first half against the run of play, and I thought we were lucky to go in 2-1 up at half time. Although there were two lovely goals that we scored, nothing lucky about them. So, that said, and I was worried, I did think, well, the way it's going, we're going to lose this because they'll come out and they'll do the same in the second half and dominate. But whatever Arteta's done and said to them at half time, and you have to give him credit for this, it came out completely different.
Mm-hmm.
We then started controlling the midfield, and our commentators saying, "Oh, Liverpool look leggy now," and I'm not sure it was Liverpool not being as good. I think it was us stepping up, being better, putting Arteta's tactics into action better than we had in the first half. I think he got hold of them and said, "Look, the way we started was fine, but I didn't tell you to play like this for the second. Get out there and do what we've fucking said we were going to do." And they have. Partey was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Xhaka, really good. Odegaard came back into it. We started to control the game. And although you say those overall possession figures are in Liverpool's favour, I think if you looked at the two halves, I don't know, I haven't seen the figures, but I think we probably shaded possession in the second half.
Well, let me bring that up and share with you. And the reason why I think that we need to just be a little careful here about this game is that it's not as clear cut as where is this? If you give me a second, yes, I'm gonna add. This is the first half stats. People, take a look at this. Says in the first half they had 62% possession.
Yeah.
Our 38. So that's obvious. They were coming into the game, and like you said, I think it was fortuitous. It was a counterattack, which, by the way, I want to remark on. Our counterattacking was for those goals was phenomenal. The speed at which we attacked them, but they got back in that game and was 62% possession at the end of the first half. Your thoughts, George?
Yeah, that's what. So if you can get the second half up, can you do that?
Yes, if you give me, guys, let's get the second half, and all of these are courtesy of SofaScore, by the way. Let me give them credit. Add to this. Here we go. And this is the second half stats. And it shows that we got more even, 50-50%. So you're right, George. The stats, you're correct. Got more even in the second half, 50-50 possession. But we had 8 shots to their third. So we were far more aggressive in terms of going at them. It's quite a turnaround. Yes.
Yeah. So I think if we're being fair, you have to give Mikel Arteta credit for that. They won't have just suddenly changed their way of playing. They'll have been following directions. So he's got to get credit for that. And I think it was a considerable turnaround. Yes. We went from being second best to clearly best in the second half, which is difficult for a team that plays like as aggressively as us, because we'd have been getting tired as well. Because we're all action. It was good, credit to Mikel Arteta. How many times do I have to say that? Or have I said it over the last 3 years? Not very often. but I'm certainly saying it today. You know, you can criticise him when you think he's got things wrong, but you've got to give him credit when you got and he got so much right yesterday, by the way. Tomasako.
Yes. That was a remarkable.
There isn't a fan on Twitter or anywhere else, any blog or podcast that I saw who thought that he should be starting Tomasako over Tierney. Even though Shevchenko was injured, you would expect it to be Kieran Tierney, and he played him, and he was brilliant. He was our best defender. If I've seen some stats where he won the ball, made the most turnovers, most interceptions, and they had to pull
Salah
off.
Right.
He just mugged him right off. It was, and before the game, all over Twitter, what's going on? Why are we playing him there? Why is Tierney not playing? Everybody thought he'd made a mistake. Well, he didn't make a mistake. If anything, it was a masterstroke, a work of genius even. Very brave, because had it gone wrong, everybody, me included, would have been at him,
Yes.
Saying, what the fuck's that all about? Wow, what a stupid thing to do. It didn't go wrong, it went right, and he's made it himself and his tactical nous even more impressive. So, yeah. Ben White, fucking hell.
Well,
he's playing well. You can't.
Yes, George, correct.
He's also a really good fullback now. He really does. He's not a fullback, he's a centre-back. Oh, I say, I'm going to stick my neck out now and say he's a better fullback than he is centre-back. And he's a good fullback. And we had a very big back line, Saliba,
yes.
Tomasako, Ben White, that's a big back line with pace in it, with pace. How often do you get that? You usually get 4 big lumps at the back and they're fairly static. But these are 4 big lads that can shift a bit through the gears. That's impressive in itself. Partey, where's this one come from? This is the last 2 or 3 games.
Yes.
He's been impressive. 2 years we've waited for this, but here it is. Maybe this is the player that he bought in the first place. So Xhaka, as ever, captaining the side with or without the armband.
Yes.
Martinelli, a revelation. Fucking revelation. I mean, Saka's the golden boy, but Jesus, look at Martinelli. Well, what a player he is at the moment. He's a handful for anybody.
Yes.
It's a really good team. Really, really good team. And it's playing well. And it's exciting. For years, 2 years, I've been saying this is shit. Paint by numbers. Fucking stay in your section. Boring as football. Well, you can't say that now, can you? No. And maybe it was just, maybe you have to give him credit again. Maybe those were the foundations he was building. Maybe he was right. It's a long-term project. Maybe we were going, well, we want it now. And he knew it wasn't coming now. It's coming next year or the year after. Well, it's here.
Well, I've thought about that, George, and I don't want to dwell on it, but if you spend £300 million over 2 years, you expect something. Yes.
It's more than that. Anyway, it's more than 300 million.
It is. Well, yes, it's more like, all the losses. But they've spent a lot of money. But I want to remind people, you were the first to signal this, and I tailed you, actually. You said that the acquisition of Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko was going to improve this team. And I listened to the pre-match with Klopp, and Klopp said, that was a major acquisition, and of course, obviously, City wasn't going to sell him to any club in the north of England, and he chuckled that Arsenal was further south, and I know I'm making a statement rather than a question. But when I saw him go down on a Simicas, I was very concerned because he's critical to this team. Your thoughts?
Well, yeah, there's a few critical players, and that's the weakness in the squad at the moment. That you know, I tweeted this morning, and I wasn't trying to be funny. I was being absolutely perfectly serious.
Mm-hmm.
And the tweet said, "I think we're now the third best team in the league, and the best two teams are Manchester City and Manchester City's second 11."
George, you
No,
might be right there.
you're laughing. I'm serious.
Yes.
I'm absolutely serious. I think their second 11 is the second best team in the league. You look at their second 11, you've got people like Walker, Stones, Laporte, Gundogan, Mahrez, Grealish, that South American striker. I don't even know his name, but he's a bloody handful.
Alvarez, I think.
Yeah, Alvarez.
I haven't really seen him play. I just know him.
Yeah, he's such a good player.
Yeah.
You know, and what a team they have as a second 11. But take them out and the first team, I think we're as good, if not better, than everybody else, which is a remarkable turnaround. And yeah, we've spent money, but we've not spent as much as Chelsea. We've not spent as much as United. We've not spent as much as Tottenham even. You know, over the period when we can look at small periods like, those 2 years for 2 years we were the top spenders. Yeah, but we had a lot of ground to make up because we'd had 15 years of being nowhere near the top spenders.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can you can't call him a checkbook manager. You know, he's not gone out and bought bloody Virgil van Dijk, has he? Or Alisson.
Yes.
You know, or Haaland or Mbappe. He's gone out and bought good players that fit his system, whatever he had in mind, and it's working. You can't get away from it. It's fucking working. And he's proving that his long-term process plan, which we mocked, let's be fair about it.
Yes.
We mocked it. We laughed. We took the piss, because we were losing to shitty teams at home. Look at we've lost 15 games this season. We laughed all that. We laid on him. Turns out he could have been right. And it's looking like he was right. And it's looking like I'm going to be eating humble pie for the rest of the season, if not the rest of my life.
Well, we are both eating humble pie because I said we were a top 3 team at best. And I was stoking the fire because I felt that with the squad and with the spending, they were being playing cute. But you said it could be a team that was, let me quote you, could they be anywhere from 2 to 8? So we were both being conservative, and I think I was playing well. At least against this Liverpool team, it was a significant result. George, I wanted to focus on this section. Let us just talk about some individuals. I thought that Saka, he scored 2 goals, but he was right on it from the start. But I thought our wide players gave Liverpool fits. Martinelli had TA in a lot of trouble. He's not the greatest defender. And Saka and Ben White had the other guy on the other side, Tsimikas. Although Tsimikas is not a bad player. And we even had Van Dijk making uncharacteristic errors. What do you thought about the front line, and in particular the white players?
I thought they were fantastic. And some moments of absolute fucking magic. The through ball that Odegaard played for the first goal that had Martinelli.
Yeah.
If Messi Ozil had played that, or Lionel Messi,
we'd be jizzing.
We'd have been jizzing about it. It was a phenomenal ball. It was these other guys that we've rightly lauded in the past. Cesc Fabregas, If they'd played those balls, they'd been fucking showing that clip for the next 20 years, saying what a good player he was. What a ball that was, by the way. They were doing, some of them were doing step overs, leaving the ball, letting it run past them. I think for the second goal, Gabriel, what he was up there and what he was in the box for in the first place. And Martinelli crossed it in low. Was it Martinelli?
I think it is.
And he stepped over it and Saka put it in at the far post. I'm not sure he did step over it. I think he just got between his legs and he missed it. Yeah. But anyway, there was some moments of genius. And there comes a point in it when it in a team when they keep playing the same way. You keep playing fast balls, short, incisive passing, really quick, one-touch movements. Mm-hmm. When they start to work, when they go to the right person at the right pace, it transforms a team. And you try to play that intricate stuff like a Wenger ball used to be.
Yes.
And we remember all the great goals, the Rosicky goal, the Jack Wilshere goal, one touch round the box and you think, wow. But you have to remember the millions of times that didn't work.
Right.
And the balls go astray. Yeah. And it'll be the same but when they work, and they only work when you keep trying them and keep practicing them. Mm-hmm. And they're obviously trying them and practicing them. Those things don't work by accident. Those sort of moves come from hours and hours of practice and repetitive drills. And we're obviously doing those. It's hugely impressive. I mean, this is the most impressed I've been. I'm not saying it's the best team. I think we've got loads of teams that are better than this.
Yes.
But it's the most impressive turnaround in a team that I've seen.
They said it's like a 20-odd points turnaround from Liverpool last year. Now, obviously, Liverpool is not the same team. They have had 2 wins out of 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Liverpool are struggling. I mean, they're 13 points off the pace or something. But
yes,
let's forget Liverpool. I don't know about the way we are playing. We're going to places. Was it Brentford 3-0?
Yes.
We're going there and getting beat last year. This is a different team, and I'd like to put it all down to buying better players, but it's got to be more than that because other teams have bought good players, spent a lot of money, and not had this turnaround. So you got to fucking say it's Arteta.
Yes.
Right? And give him some credit. And whether I still don't like him, I still don't believe him, I look at him and think, oh, don't say anything. I'm really happy at the moment. Just don't speak. But even then, he came on Sky TV and he gave one of the best interviews I've seen since Arsenal left. It was fucking perfect. Word perfect. He said all the right things, praised all the right people, didn't take any of the credit himself. It's getting really hard to dislike him.
Well, guess what, George? You know how we are. A couple of defeats and tunes change, but
yeah, a couple of defeats, I'll get my stick out again. So can I just say, I wanted to talk about something that I said 18 months ago.
Yes.
When he squeezed Ozil out and then Aubameyang as well. And I said, because he doesn't have super credence as a top manager, he has to get his authority from somewhere. And the way he treated Ozil and Aubameyang, stamping his authority over them, was the price we were paying for him being the big boss, without the results to back him up. And I said at the time, and I'm going to give myself credit for this, even though I didn't like it, I said, if it works, it's a price worth paying. If it works, if it gives him that credence, if it gives him the authority, if people buy into him and do what they're told when he tells them, because of what he's done to Ozil and Aubameyang, who were the two biggest characters and stars at the club, that could be a price worth paying. I said that at the time, and you've got to say it's looking like it's come to pass. It was a price worth paying because this is fucking special, Shotta. It's not, and I don't care whether we lose the next 3 fucking games or not. You can see the way that we're playing is different. The attitude of the players is different. The energy is different, and it's coming from him. It can only be coming from him. You want to blame him when things are going wrong, and I did. I'm not going to be hypocritical and not credit him when things are going right. But I still don't like him.
Well, I kept telling people, I've worked for bosses, I don't really like them, but I gave them my support. And I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm absolutely 100% behind him. Yeah. 100% behind him. And everything he does. Doesn't mean I don't think he did things wrong along the way.
Exactly.
But in fairness, what I thought he'd done wrong and was doing wrong, it's now looking like it was me not understanding the process and how long it was going to take. I thought we should have always been playing better with the players we had than he had them playing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if he felt that they had to be weeded out, he had to fucking go back to the fucking knock things down to the foundations, and they were the price that, to get them out, those type of players out, those characters or whatever he thought they were, it's worked. And he was right and I was wrong.
And George, I think a lot of our listeners, guys, make your comments if you please. This is a difficult admission for some of us to make, and I saw a debate. Just to cut you there. I saw a debate on Twitter with our good friend Biso and somebody, so I can call her name, and she was saying, well, the treatment of Aubameyang was horrible. That is a fact. The treatment of him was horrible. But your point is that Arteta felt that is something he had to do to stamp the authority.
Not only was it something he had to do for the team because of he wasn't the type of player that he wanted, although he did give him a contract for £350,000 a week, only to find out he wasn't the player. That can't have been right. But it stamps his authority. If you can do that to Mesut Ozil, who was by far the biggest star at the club, and then you can do it to the next in line, who was Aubameyang, nobody's going to fucking kick their heels and moan about the training or being told what to do or being dropped or being left out or whatever it is. All the discipline, they're all going to turn up on time. They're all going to be professional because he can do it to them. He can do it to any of them. And if that's what he did, which I think it is, it's a price that's obviously been worth paying because he's not Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho, Alex Ferguson. He hasn't got this resume behind him that he comes in and everybody believes everything he says because of who he is. He's had to establish who he is, the club's financially paid a price by devaluing the players and shipping them out for next to nothing. But it looks like it's been a price worth paying because what a good team we are now. How much fun is this coming on here?
Well, George, just being older fan, the question I would like to throw to you: City is way, in my opinion, way ahead of us. I saw their game on Saturday. Haaland could have scored 3 goals. He only scored one. They substituted all their best players by the 60th minute. And poor old Southampton, well, they were chasing shadows all through that game.
As United did the week before.
Yeah.
He changed the team when they were 6-1 up.
There you go. So how long will our fans be satisfied looking up at City? That's
well,
it.
I think if we finish second, I don't care what City get. I don't care because they're in a different league to us. Mm-hmm. They simply are. They're in a different. They're not only in a different league; they're in a different stratosphere. That's one of the best teams I've ever seen in world football. That's how good they are. I mean, they can interchange. They can, like I say, can swap 11 players and still be the best team in the league. You can't seriously expect to compete with them. And they've got a manager who's won everything in the game and understands tactics with that team, with these players, on a different level to everybody else. You can't put City and say, oh, we're not as good as City. Well, who is? Who is? They have to drop the ball to get knocked out of a competition. Mm-hmm. It's if we come second, Jose Mourinho said it was one of his greatest achievements at United, finishing second, and people laughed at him. Well, it'll be one of the best achievements at this club in the last 15, 20 years if we finish second to this City team, because they're out of the equation for me. We shouldn't even be worrying about them. We're playing the rest. We're playing for second. Second's our first. We're playing a sovereign fucking nation.
Just keep George, give me a moment there. This phone is ringing. Sorry about that. Yeah. We are playing a sovereign nation, was your point?
Yeah, we're not competing. They've got better players than us in every position. They've got probably better backup players than us. Our first team in every position. So we shouldn't be considering about, can we finish above them? And certainly not be disappointed if we don't, because I can't see how we. But if we can keep in it, we can beat everybody else. We can beat Liverpool. We can beat Spurs. We can beat Chelsea when we play them. We can stay in it, and it doesn't matter whether they're winning 6-0 or 7-0 or 8-0 and changing all the players at half time. Doesn't matter if we've won the game the same week. We've still got the same 3 points as them.
It is, and of course, I think we're going heading to Leeds next week, and that is like that's a banker. I think
It should be, yeah, certainly should be.
But football is a strange game. George,
if City have got Liverpool,
oh yeah, well that would be quite a game because there's a lot of rivalry between them. Klopp is in a transition, George, and I keep saying that Mane, people underestimate the role of Mane in that team. And it's more than just Mane.
Yeah, it's a lot more than just Mane.
Yeah, but I fear that player whenever we played him because of his physicality and his ability to hurt you. And I don't see that, they're not the same physically. Anyway, George, let's leave it at that. We are mea culpa all over to your Catholics today. Forgive me.
Forgive me, Mikel, for I have sinned.
I've sinned. George, I think. I was impressed. I was impressed by the team yesterday.
I've been impressed all season, to be fair. I mean, we lost to United, but we were the better team against United. We could have been 24 out of 24 or whatever it is.
Yes.
We could have won every game this season. We've been the best team in every game we've played this season. And we're 9 games in?
Well, what do fans think? you guys, I was happy with some, there will only be a little podcast, but quite a few of you tune in. Tell us what you think in the comments. Are
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
as
people.
are you
Please
just as
like,
contrite as you as you're so forgiving our Arteta's George is?
please like and subscribe and comment because it helps with the algorithms or whatever they're called.
Yes, they do.
And we need it if we want to proceed. That said, if you don't want to, don't do that either. Just
Yep.
do what you want. But
Yep.
if you can help, help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George, for that. Thank you, everyone. It was feeling happy. I'm feeling we're playing good football. It's a pleasure to watch us play these days. Thanks again, George.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.